and welcome to Add More Zest. My name is Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. I've just realised I haven't actually scrolled down the comments. So I actually haven't dealt with a few either from, as I am filming this, the unboxing for Diamond Art Studio that I did has not long gone up. So there's quite a few comments coming in for that should shorten things down when I get round to that one tomorrow. But today we are on section number 2. So we're actually getting some of this top part done, which is what's made me scooch the canvas down, rolling it off my desk. So let's bring that down a bit. I'm using a pen today from Diamond Painting Pen Creations. They're a UK company. I'm not actually sure if they do still make pens or not. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything recently, but I do love this one. It is just a single end, like you can put a multi-placer tip in it, but it doesn't have a hole in the other end. Sort of a bit of a different design. So let's crack on with the white. I was wondering if this was going to pick it up then. I've got a glue dot in this one that's probably been in here for a while. No, it's not. It's not very sticky. So let me first off do what you shouldn't do and stick metal tweezers into a metal pen tip. I'm a rule breaker, people. Take it out and pop it back in again and see how that works. I often find that works quite well for quite a while, rather than just, you know, trying to top up a little bit more of a glue dot on the top of it or taking it out completely and putting a fresh one in. I often find just taking out the one I have and popping it back in a different side that's not as dirty works really well. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Friday. The weekend is here. And it's about time. And yes, this glue dot is now very, very sticky. So I need to go back to sort of priming my glue dot as I go. So if you've not used glue dots before, they are extremely sticky when you first get them. I mean, I say extremely, that was probably a little bit of an exaggeration. They are very sticky when you first start to use them. But I find just dabbing them on my face just takes enough of sort of that extra sticky off so that the canvas can be stickier than the glue dot, which is what keeps it on the canvas rather than on your pen. But I do find when you first get a glue dot, you may have to keep doing that a few times, just as the glue dot sort of settles down and finds its place. But once you find that the glue dot, you know, that you don't need to touch it to your face or your clothes, you don't have to use your face, I just find it primes it a little bit quicker. If I just literally just rub it on my cheek, that's all I'm doing. And then I can keep going for quite a long time, and then it might start being a bit sticky again. And I think it's just while the glue dot sort of finds its settling place inside the pen where it wants to stay. And once it's found its permanent place, I can go for weeks without having to mess with it again. So it is something that's a little bit of perseverance, but you know what? Your face is always there, which I think is why I've gone for using my face and staying to using my face. Because I don't have to think, am I wearing a top that sheds loads? Am I wearing pants that if I dab the glue dot on, it's, you know, just going to pick up loads of bits of fluff depending on what sort of clothing you're wearing. There's none of that. if you do happen to wear a load of makeup, just do it on your hand. Just dab, dab on your hand, carry on. Just the oils from your skin just help to take that little bit of sharpness off the glue dot, but not too much. And as I say, after a bit of doing that, once you're primed, that's it. You are off. Off, and you all of a sudden forget that, you know, there's such a thing as refilling it. Brianne, she says, oh, that comment I had read. Another comment though from Brianne, she said, on the topic of symbols, she says, she's with me. She's always called the 2 dots a button, but now she's going to call it a pig snout because it's fun. It is more fun. Pig snout is definitely more fun than buttons, though buttons are cute and they are entertaining. I used to be fascinated with the button tin when I was younger. How many different buttons can you find? And where did they all come from as well? Does anybody else find that? Where was it that all the buttons came from that our parents had when we were younger? Probably all the buttons that come in clothes that we are now like, nah, can't be bothered keeping that. Which is pretty much what I do. It's like, nope, I haven't got a home for that. I can't be doing with keeping that. It's a different life, isn't it? Jackie said she used to love the book The Secret Garden. She said it was such a beautiful story. It was one of those magical stories. Used to read a lot of Enid Blyton as well when I was younger, and that used to be a load of magical type stories as well, or at least different type stories and adventures and things like that. Van says, in regards to multi-placing, they personally see it as cheating because it cheats them out of more time spent enjoying their hobby. They said it's the same with knitting and why they don't want to purchase a knitting machine, because it takes their time away from their hobby. There's definitely benefits to it. I say I'm trying to work on the fact of not feeling as though it's cheating when I do use a multi-placer, and my own personal feelings on that. And I'm doing it a little bit on some. I'm enjoying the fact that I can not so much get through things quicker because I don't want to be doing it, but because I've got so many in my stash that I want to do. Being able to, you know, do some of them means I can then move on to another one that excites me just as much. Emily says hi, says they are a long time lurker, first time commenting and participating in the June waffle. They said they've been able to complete one 30 by 40 and they are 3/4 of the way done with a second. Wow, that is some good going. This one's classed, I mean, comment was left on the 17th of June, and this painting is classed as 2 30 by 40s. That's basically what it is, 2 next to each other. Bit of an ambitious one for my June waffle, especially considering the heat wave that we're having. But I'm still enjoying it. Still enjoying it, still glad I have done this one. But yeah, the fact that you have nearly finished your second one means you've done bigger sizes. So that is some epic me time being found there, which is awesome. Though I've probably done similar-ish amounts if I count some of the work I've been able to do on my other ones. Not every evening. Last night, by the time I'd finished sorting out the Whip and Waffle video and stuff, I was like, is it too late? Ended up doing a jigsaw, or part of a jigsaw, with Catherine. She'd sorted it out and done the edges the other day, but we hadn't done any more then. So it actually ended up being quite late before I went to bed, because we didn't quite realise what time it had got to, because we were busy piecing pieces together on our jigsaw and lost track of time. Alice, she says, good morning. She said it is 18 minutes past 2 in the morning there. She said she got addicted to a game. She says, thankfully, the children don't have school tomorrow, so she will be able to have a good sleep in. That's going to be well and truly needed. If you didn't get to sleep until 2, well, gone 2, you were here commenting. She said she best say good night, as she'll probably be in Zland in the next few minutes. Well, I hope you managed to get to sleep no later than 2:30. If you were here commenting at 2:18, though I constantly wish I could fall asleep that quick. Brianne, she says, this image is really coming together beautifully. She said it makes me happy to see it, but sad at the same time, as it means the month and Waffle is going to be ending soon. There is that, but we still have a week. We have a week. Whether it's classed as a week at the beginning of this session or at the end of this session, but yeah, we are about to head into the last week of the Waffle. But the Waffle does end on a Friday, so it ends next Friday in a week. But I do still have scheduled so far my Sunday Waffle, which is a normal Whip and Waffle. So there is only sort of a day's gap between this Waffle ending and the new one, and me having another one up. So it might not feel as bad as quick. It's not like month ends, that's it, done and dusted. It will be done and dusted with this picture, but I'll be Whip and Waffling with another one. I've got no idea which one it will be yet. It will depend on where I am up to with my large ones. It might actually be about time for another Dreamer Designs one that's on the go, because I have an Aura Lower one as well, but the actual kitting up video for that isn't until the middle of June, to ensure that they're all spread out. So yeah, I will just play it by ear as to which I decide to do each Whip and Waffle. And I do need to bring back my Heaven and Earth Designs ones as well. But I finally feel like today is the day that I have finally caught back up. Sounds weird. It's taken pretty much the whole month of June. But today is the day I finally feel like everything is caught up. I had a really big admin day yesterday, making sure accounts were set up. I had all sorts of other sort of little bits, the little lovely bits that crop up for a business that need dealing with, but you know, nobody's paying you to do that sort of job. But yeah, I had a really big admin day yesterday, got a lot of things done, actually got my inbox very, very nearly empty. It just had a couple of things in that I actually can't do anything with yet. So I didn't leave things on my to-do list. I just couldn't take them out of my inbox until a certain date's passed. So very, very nearly got all of my inboxes empty, which is always a task. Got all letters dealt with, got all accounts up to date, because we've got an end of year coming soon to sort for. Got some things in the background prepped and sorted for upcoming events. And then today I have had sort of a pottering day, as I call them. They're quite often my most productive, is what I call my pottering days. So I've actually today, it's been a mixture of catching up with the washing. While it has been, of course, really hot and really sunny, we have had quite a few days recently for us where we've had little pockets of rain. Pretty much always like 1-2 o'clock, the weather's been saying there's a chance of rain. Well, it's just too hot to be messing about and trying to keep an eye out for the rain coming and dragging it. I can't be doing with all that. So I waited until today when we had a clear, nice day, well, hot day. We've had the aircon on, but we've had a hot day, but with no chance of rain. Got through about 7 loads of washing. So everything is up to date, and potted about with a lot of different, deliveries that have turned up, and stock that needs sorting for various different things, either restocks or new items coming. And yeah, just had that sort of pottering kind of day where the table gets cleared and those little things that are loitering about that need doing get done. Receipts get filed away, that sort of day. I love that sort of day. It's like I've cleared the decks. So I finally feel as though I am pretty much on top of everything. There's still a few restock jobs that need doing, and of course a few more things to prep for Advent, though I think there's only really one major thing that we need to prep for Advent, which isn't a huge task. I made sure I did all the huge tasks first. So yeah, it's all systems go, which means I can, now focus on other things that I want to do / need doing, and getting new things in and stuff. But yeah, I love it when there's a clear deck, and it's not a matter of looking around the conservatory and thinking, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that. I'd rather all that stuff be stuck on my to-do list, that's for sure. Amy says she's excited for the giveaway. She said the sloth, which was my giveaway at that time, is the symbol for fibromyalgia. Ooh, I didn't realise that. Didn't realise they had an animal as a symbol. The sloth one is cute though. That was a very hard one to part with because I think he's absolutely adorable. But it was a very hard decision for each painting and each sort of manufacturer. I've tried to go for each big-ish manufacturer where I can, where I have the stash to do it. So yeah, I've tried to go for each one. And it was extremely hard making some decisions. But it was the right thing to do. My stash needs to go down. And yeah, it's nice to be able to give things that people might not be able to get hold of, and not just things from our shop. Though of course we've squoze a couple of those in. Liz says she bets that I'm so happy that it's cooled down. I'm happy every day that it cools down and it's a nice, I think I'm even preferring 20-21 degrees. I like it to be warm. I don't want to be wrapping up in a jumper and all that. So I'm not asking for winter in any way, shape or form. I just want spring weather. basically. I just want spring weather. A really, really nice spring day. Sun out, wind blowing. That's what I want. I'm not fussy, really, honest. But no, it's not been too bad today. We have had the air conditioner on. It did reach about 28 in the conservatory, I think it read at one point. But we have been able to turn it off this evening. Like it's cooled down enough and there's enough of a breeze blowing to have not needed it on all the way through the early evening. When we have to do that, then you know it is piping hot. Liz also says she bought a new garden chair yesterday, and her plan was to spend the day in the sun reading a book. She said, however, when she got home this morning after swimming, it was cloudy and it wasn't sitting outside weather. She said, so she spent the day diamond painting instead. Well, that's not a bad thing. She said, and now she is on the last section of her Diamond Art Club mystery kit, which means she is doing a de-kitting tomorrow and a kitting up of a new painting. She says, now which one do I choose? That is always the hardest part, which is why I have a decision wheel. Occasionally there are paintings that I'm like, yes, I need to kit this up straight away. But as soon as it goes to looking at my stash, it's like the excitement levels of, you know, are the same as when I first bought it. And it's like, oh, but I want to do, but that one. So while I am looking forward to the possibility of having a free spin appear on my decision wheel, I'm kind of hoping that my stash goes down a little bit before it does appear, because I reckon I'd have a hard time. And I am kind of hoping that it picks one of their manufacturer's free spins, which means my choices are just that little bit less. But I suppose if it did choose sort of the free spin, I would probably pick a manufacturer. I haven't done one for a little bit, and maybe do it that way. Or maybe I'd pick one of the older ones in my stash or something. It would depend on my mood for that day. But yeah, the decision wheel really, really helps when it comes to kitting up a new painting, I think. Kerry, she says there was a series that was called Once Upon a Time. They had one similar, loosely based on Alice in Wonderland. She said she can't remember what it was called. It might have been that, because I haven't seen all episodes of Once Upon a Time, but I know, like, my kids have watched it. So therefore, I've probably seen different episodes depending on who's been watching it when I've been in the room. Because quite often, you know, because you can have your own profile on all these sorts of Netflix and all the rest of it. They each have their own one, so quite often they're at different places in a series, because there is no point in trying to get all of us together to watch something together. It really, you know, watch a series in order together. It just, the only time we try and do that is with a series that maybe we're rewatching. So occasionally, you know, if one person can't be there, but, you know, the other three are up for watching it, nobody's disappointed that they've missed an episode. It's the only way we seem to be able to get away with it. Otherwise, I tend to have, occasionally for TV, we'll have a series that, you know, I'll watch with Megan or I'll watch with Catherine. And yeah, and therefore, like, you know, it will take us weeks to actually get around to watching all episodes. But me and Megan did it with Sort Your Life Out, which is a UK TV show, and we actually watched that as a something we watched together and diamond painted. But it was over the course of a few months, depending on when we got the time. Right, I have just got rid of the last little bit of trash bits before I top up my tray again with my wonderful 3756. Not quite white, but not quite any other colour either. But yeah, Once Upon a Time, I think, is where I've seen that Alice. Jordan, she said she was too hyper-focused last night, and she finished off her 30 by 30 painting. She said she was up till 2 a.m, but she enjoyed every minute of it. And that is the main thing. Hopefully you were still able to function the day after, but I'm so happy that you enjoyed the time that you got. And you've got a finished painting out of it as well, which is another win, because now you get to do another exciting one. KS says if she won something like the big dot case, she said she would be more than happy to pay postage. She said she suspects others feel the same. I do appreciate the offer, but that is something with giveaways that I don't want people to need to do at all. If it costs more to send it to another country for me for the giveaway, then that's what it is. That is all part and parcel of the giveaway, is that I want it to be open to everybody that watches. And I recognise that a lot of my viewers and a lot of the customers that do visit the shop are international. So I don't want to restrict it to anybody or expect anybody to pay postage, because while I appreciate that many of you will, I don't want that to be the case. I just don't. So I will find a way of making it work, and I would have found a way of making it work for the art dot case as well. But I can't deny there was a slight relief when they came back and said they were in the UK. There was a slight relief just because it was easier, but you know, I say I would have found a way, one way or another, to get it to whoever had won it, wherever they may be. Albeit it might have been a slower way of posting it. Who knows? Liash says, hi Rebecca, I hope you're having a good night. They said they're so thankful that I'm a British YouTuber, as we're only 1 hour apart in time zone difference. She said for once she can watch videos when they go live and not have to stay up until midnight. She says she's been watching, I assume it's a she, sorry, I've got called out for getting that wrong before. It says for one, been watching since 2020 and hope you keep making videos for many more years, as you put a smile on my face with everyone. Oh, thank you. So if you remember, you can just call me Leah. Aha, I will try and remember. As you may know, my brain, it takes a while to settle things in, so by all means keep signing it off as Leah and it might stick soon enough. She said my parents did not give me an easy name and they don't mind it being shortened, so I may have even shortened it if I've said Leisha, because there is more to the username. I'm not sure whether that is then your full name or whether it's your name and your surname, but I appreciate the offer and I will try to remember, but I also know what I'm like, so apologies if I don't. Apologies in advance. Pam says they've just got their first order from us, and it only took a week to get to New Hampshire in the US. She said she loves everything she got. Your diamond painting is looking good. Oh, thank you so much, Pam, and I'm so happy it got to you quickly. We actually have had a couple that have got there really, really quickly to the US this week. A giveaway winner in the US got theirs exactly a week from me posting it. So I posted it, I think it was the Wednesday, after getting their address, and yeah, it arrived exactly a week later. And I actually checked the tracking because I was like, how's it got there that quick? So I actually checked the tracking, and it was picked up from us. It was picked up from us in the afternoon. Because with US we have to give them all the details first thing in the morning, and then they'll pick them up in the afternoon. And it actually ended up on a plane towards the States that same evening. So whether we just got lucky with a few or not, I'm not sure. I'm not knocking it though. We'll have a few more like that, please, because I know I'm always eager to get my goodies once I've placed an order, and everybody, international and UK, but international as well, are so patient with their orders from us. I love it when things arrive a bit quicker than expected and you get to have your goodies really soon. But yeah, we're not quite at the point where we can charter planes to get them to deliver on our behalf. So we have to stick with couriers for now. Lynn says she would also love to see packing an order, a order packing a video as well. She said she would enjoy that. I will see if that's something we can work in. I don't know if I'll need a hand with it, but I'll definitely need to sort of focus on it. So I'm going to see if there's a couple of things. I am going to try and see if my camera can do any sort of time lapse. I know my phone can, but I don't feel like phone videos are quite as good. But maybe I'll try and do some time lapses of maybe like launch days, and you can see me running around packing 90 odd orders over a few days. Or maybe I'll try and do some sort of overhead, but I'll have to make sure that I can sort of put personal details to the side. I think I'd feel safer than trying to blur personal details out, because I think if I missed anything or anything went wrong, I'd be absolutely heartbroken. So if they're not in the, video shot at all, then there's no worry about that. So I might have to see if that's something that I can sort of do, to maybe sort of show you the process that I follow when I am packing an order. Which can slightly vary between orders, but yeah, I like them too. So I just need to up my game on getting short little videos of stuff, even sort of the prepping, we do when things arrive and things like that. Maybe I'll see when we are actually packing the advent calendars, because it will be probably me and Megan. I'm not sure if it'll be just me for a bit. Depends when the last bits arrive that we're getting made especially. I'm not sure if it'll be me and Megan or whether it'll just be me to start off with. I say it depends whether the goodies arrive in summer holidays or not. But maybe I will see if we can set something up when it's me and Megan and we've got a little bit of a system going. And then share that video with you, of course, after Advent, depending on if any spoilers are in there. Sammy says, thank you so much for the advice. She says, hope you're feeling a bit better, Lady Dax. She says she does have daily chronic migraines. Ooh. which are worse with the storm pressure. She said they do really hope it clears, as it's awful. I can imagine. That is not something I would like to go through at all. So I do completely feel for you. She says the same happened here. It thundered, but the pressure and the clamminess got worse. Yeah. What happened to a good old-fashioned thunderstorm clearing the air, eh? Is that something from the olden days now? Is this the new style thunderstorm? Because if it is, I'm not liking thunder as much. This is not going to make me as happy. Tamara said, thanks for the reply. She said, yes, David has just begun diamond painting. So he is now entered into the giveaway. Well, welcome to the fold, David. I hope you are enjoying it and enjoying what may be your first diamond painting. Never know, you might be on to your second or your third by now. Depends how addicted it has got you, which can often be a very big addiction at the beginning. Aaliyah says she's watching day 14 on the 17th of June. There are a few people that are, that are either catching up or a little bit behind. But seriously, don't think about it as being behind. This might not be helpful saying this on day 23, But yeah, don't feel as though you're behind. You're not. It's, if you didn't get to do any yesterday or today, then that's fine, or even earlier days. Today's a fresh day. See if you can squeeze in your me time today. If you can, absolutely awesome. Give yourself a pat on the back and see if you can tomorrow. Don't feel as though you have to catch up at all. If you've sectioned it into 30 and you're not going to, get to the end of it by the end of June, then doesn't matter. It's not necessarily about completing or how many you can complete. It's about getting that me time. So just continue to get me time every day that you can, and do not worry about what day it is and whether you're on the right day or not. You don't need that stress. You just need to take some me time. Janita says, hi all, says she's watched every day and has really enjoyed it. She did a farmers crafters market yesterday and today. But today was extremely windy. So had to hang on to the tent for dear life. She's hoping to do a bit on her ocean diamond painting in a few minutes while continuing to watch the Waffle. Well, hello again, Janita. I hope the painting is going well. I know it's a lot of blue, but hopefully it is getting close to completion. Lady Dax says, hiya. She says she's spent an amazing day working on their garden. They can't believe how she can't believe, how much better she is since starting the pulmonary rehabilitation course. Her breathing and mobility are so much better already. She said she would totally recommend it. That is good to know. Might have to see if that's something they do around here. She says she never thought of multi-places as cheating. For her, it's more frustrating. She said she can use a 2 with no problems, but any higher up than that and they go all over the place. She said hats off to anybody that can do it. It is a skill. It's definitely a skill. And those that do it with really huge multi-placers and manage to have like a multi-placer with 7 or 10 on it, but then only get 2 to stick to the canvas where they actually want 2 to stick to the canvas. Absolutely amazes me. It shocks me every time. It's like I tried the other day. I think I had one that had picked up 4, and I tried to sort of squeeze it in a 2 spot and then use the other 2 for another 2 spot. Yeah, no, I was trying to do something well outside of my skill set. I was like, yeah, this isn't me. Let's just go back to trying to make sure the diamonds are straight. Thanks very much, and let's stick with that for now. Diamond painting for paint therapy says yes. She gets serious migraines with storms. She says thanks to the barometric changes. She says that's one of her biggest triggers. Oh, it's just, you just can't enjoy it the same either, can you then? You know, if there is like a weather change, because you just know that, oh yeah, I want it to cool down, but actually I don't want it to be a thunderstorm that cools it down, thanks, because that hurts in a different way. It's just not nice. They just need to find cures for all these things, please. Smart people out there, get on it. Amy says she has both types of lollies in her freezer, and her son picks the one that she makes. Oh, bless him. I can't say I'd have done the same when I was a child, but maybe it's because I didn't have a choice that I wasn't happy with the homemade lollies. Ravy Heights says, thanks Rebecca for another great chat/waffle. Very relaxing. They said they enjoy hearing what you and the subscribers are sharing with us. When they drop drills on the carpet, they wrap some packing tape, sticky tape, around their hand, sticky side out, and wipe the area, and then they go and sit in a comfy chair and pick them off. Yeah, get the on the floor part, the uncomfortable part, done as quick as possible, and then go and sit in comfort and get them all nice. And then look at what's left on the sticky tape and think, I'm sure I only hoovered that yesterday. I only vacuumed that floor yesterday, and now I feel like I need to do it again. Is normally the way it goes in this house. Any time I hoover or vacuum, depending on whether you want to use the brand name or the real term, every time I do it, you can bet your life Luna will get a rope toy and start shredding it. She likes to shred it and pull out the bits of rope. She doesn't do it all the time, but she'll do it when I have vacuumed. She just likes the decoration. Debbie says she's finished her Home of the Brave journal, her husband's diamond painting, and her Mystery 3 diamond painting that turned out to be Stitch. That is some quality me time happening over there. Absolutely awesome. Getting all those done. I'm not getting anywhere near as much time as I'd like to diamond paint, but I am getting my waffle time, so I'll take that for the win. Though there has been a couple of times I have done 2 days in one day and actually ended up missing a day. So do be assured, even though these videos go out on a daily basis, when we went away, I did do a couple of days in advance. And then I try to do them the day before. And that's been the rule for most of them, have always been the day before. But occasionally we've had something on one evening and I've had to squeeze 2 in one day. But that's the way life goes. But I'm still getting my me time and my diamond painting time. Karen says hello. Said they were recently catching up on my previous mini Heaven and Earth design playlist and got confused. She said it seems during those videos from a year ago, there was chatter about Woolworths and Big W. She had a little chuckle when she realised it was not the current Waffle videos. Oh, I forgot that topic came up last year as well. She said, funny how topics come back around. Yes, they often do come around. But then they can go off on different random tangents as well. She said, thanks for all that you do for us. I completely forgot that we'd spoken about Big W and Woolworths and stuff before. Maybe I hadn't long come back from Australia then either. Though it's been a few months now, but it's always one of the things that's sort of fascinated me. I suppose it just makes you feel like it's a little bit of a home away from home when you see a lot of the same brands and stuff, but then when you see what you think is the same brand but it's actually completely different, it can get a little bit confusing. Girl Diamond says for her, Alice in Wonderland has a special place in her heart, as it was something her grandmother watched with us at her place as a child, and she would treat us with a sweet while we watched it together. She said she passed away when I was 9 weeks pregnant with my daughter, and we gave my daughter her middle name in her memory. She said now my kids and I, along with my husband, watch thinking of her. Oh, that's beautiful. It's often things like that, isn't it? Just memories and things that are linked that can just make something, whether it be a film or a place, just, have that extra little bit of special that it might not have had without that person. And I love it using names as memories or in honour of. All of our children all have a first name that we picked, but all of their middle names have meaning. There is a meaning behind each of their middle names in various degrees. But yeah, it's actually quite sweet because it's something that my brother and sister both carried on as well, because their children are younger than mine. But each of their children have a middle name that has meaning, and then they picked their first names, so it's kind of cute. It's like, yeah, it's there. I keep trying to make sure my camera just doesn't cut off on me, which I did find out is a thing that's based on an EU law or something. That my camera will only film for a certain amount of time, otherwise it's classed as a different piece of equipment. I don't know, something to do with some EU law, because I think we might have been in the EU when I got this camera. If not, it's just something that's stuck about. It's stuck around, and yeah, it basically just makes my camera save after a certain amount of time, which is no good when I'm doing a long waffle. Ina says she loves my company while she is painting, and she enjoyed today's waffle. She said it's now 29 degrees in the Netherlands. Will you send us some cooler air? Well, if you're getting what we've had afterwards, you will get a bit of cooler air, you'll get a bit of rain, and you'll get a bit of I don't quite know what I'm doing kind of weather. That seems to be what will be coming your way. It does cool down a bit. We do have a conservatory which does sort of retain a bit more of the heat than maybe another room would. I did quite a bit of my pottering in the kitchen today because it's a little bit cooler in there. But yeah, there should be some little bit cooler weather coming your way. I don't know what's going to happen in a few weeks though, sorry. She says for herself, 22 to 24 degrees is enough. I agree. But we've had this heat for that long. I think I'm actually wanting it to be 20. 20, 21. I'd probably even settle for 18 for a few days, you know, just a few calmer days. Don't need the rain. I'm not fussed about the rain. That can stay away. Emma says, hi all. She says she's been out with a family to the beach all day on Saturday the 17th. So she sat and watched the Waffle on Sunday, and she said she was just in time for the giveaway. She says, so glad she didn't miss it. She said, fingers crossed, and she's loving the June Waffle. Yeah, the giveaways are going really well at the moment. So far, the one that's just closed for the trays is that will be drawn soon. Of course, it's only just closed as this video has gone up, but all the others have all left the building. A couple have arrived now. So the one to Ireland has arrived after one to the States that was sent a few days later, and I'm sure many of the others won't be far behind. It did make me chuckle that the winner of the Lincraft painting is in Australia, which is where the Lincraft painting was from. So it's gone back on a plane, not in my case though. So yeah, that has gone to the lucky winner in Australia. That was actually sent today as I'm filming this. So yeah, everybody is getting back to me super quick, which is great because it means I can keep on top of them and don't end up with a load of giveaways and get confused over what's going where. I can get them on their way ASAP. Cat Lady, she says she's here. She's here. I'm in. She says she's not diamond painting today as she is in and out with things in the oven. She said she got some baking done as we've had a cooler day. She said they told us to expect thunderstorms this afternoon. She says, but none so far. I found the weather is changing loads at the moment. So I said earlier that I've done loads of washing today because we've had spats of rain. Yesterday we were supposed to have a batch of rain between 12 and 1. Then it became between 1 and 2. And then as soon as it comes to like 1:30 and it's like, are we getting rain? It just disappeared. So it was like, no, actually, you're not getting any. So yeah, it really, even though it is warm, it is quite often the weather is changing quite a lot at the moment. But speaking of baking, my mother-in-law, rest her soul, used to make an amazing cake, Barabrith cake. It's like mixed spice, sultanas, just absolutely divine. Love that stuff. She used to make 2 and one would come home with me and she would keep one. And there's been a couple of times that even though Megan doesn't eat it, she's made some. And yeah, I've made the odd one, but Catherine made some yesterday. She just got the bug to make Barabrith, and she is probably the only one apart from me and hubby that actually eat it as well. But she made some Barabrith. It's been so nice to have Barabrith with a cup of coffee. So I did warn her though that she'd made one, and because it's been so long since I've had any, because you know when you just forget about things, it's been so long since I've had any, I said she might be making another one in a couple of days. Because the 3 of us will have just gone through it all, because it's just divine. So yeah, I hope you are enjoying the items that you have baked. Kaz says she's not diamond painting today as she is spending time with her family. Well, that is still classed as me time unless they're making you do jobs for them. Otherwise, it can still be classed as me time. Kaz says both. She says pull it out and set it to the side and reset it. I'm not sure what that's in relation to. I'm trying to think. Oh, might be in relation to the decision wheel. I'm trying to get the decision wheel to pick the one I want. Yeah, I try as much as tempting as it could potentially be to sort of trick the decision wheel. Because really, I could have done it with trying to get it to pick the likes of the Auraloa painting that I've decided to do, or maybe even the Dreamer Designs, and basically turn around and, you know, made it pick it. But I just feel too guilty. I'd rather just say to you guys, look, I'm pushing this one in and I'm pushing this one in front of the others because, and just tell you X, Y, and Z. So I pushed the Dreamer's Designs in front because I think I might have somewhere to put it up in my house, which means it would get displayed. But even if it turns out it's not right for it, it's on the type of canvas that I can't use a light pad with it. Well, like I can, but it's a pain. And, oh, that is that diamond that I need. And who needs to deal with, you know, a canvas that's a pain when if I do it in the summer, it's not a pain. So I push the Dreamer's Designs in front for that. I push the mystery up front because it's a mystery and I don't want it to be spoilt. I actually saw a section on Diamond Art Club's stories the other day. It wasn't like a huge section. It didn't spoil it for me. It was a section I've actually already done. But the fact that it showed a section on their story has stopped me looking at their stories. Because they do share some of their own things, but often they share what other people have posted. Which I don't blame them, to be fair. I do that occasionally if I catch it soon enough. I will put that sort of thing on our stories so people can see what other people have got. But yeah, I'm trying not to get it spoilt for me. And then I've pushed an Auraloa in front because I've done some unboxings and I've got some unboxings coming up from them, and I wanted to actually know what their paintings are like and actually do one. And I must say, I've picked a square one, and they are such a nice fit diamond. They fit so nice. I'll just throw that about. It is an absolute pleasure to do so, which is good because now I can continue to show the diamond paintings from Auraloa with just a little bit more confidence that they are really, really nice ones. So Cat Lady, she says she's been thinking about what to do next after her Heaven and Earth design project. And she's thinking she might try some of her cross-stitch kits using the charts instead of Pattern Keeper. She said so now she needs to find some blank sticky canvas. That sounds like fun. It's a long in the head ahead plan, but I do have a cross-stitch pattern that was a photo to cross-stitch pattern that I've actually done. I've done the cross-stitch and it's of my Nana. And I kind of would like to do that as a diamond painting. You know, as sort of a comparison as well, but to see how it would look as a diamond painting. But yeah, it's a well in the future plan in the fact that I need to finish my Heaven and Earth designs first. I need to stop taking on new big projects. Is what I need to do. But yeah, when you finish your Heaven and Earth design, doing some cross stitch charts as it does sound like a very, very good idea. Right, section 2 is done. I do actually know where the decision wheel will take us tomorrow, because I did see it when I actually nearly got the sections rolled up for today. So I did see where the next section will be, but we are slowly but surely getting there. 2, 4, 5. So we have a week left to do, so plenty of time. Anybody that's behind, do not worry, draw a line under it and just do what you can for the week. I've just noticed that I'm missing a diamond there. It's probably me rolling my canvas up and down often. Or is it because it doesn't want to stick? Has it got some plastic there? I did have a problem with a little bit of plastic on here. It has. It's still got the plastic on it. No wonder it's not sticking. It's still got a piece of plastic under here, and it is slightly under the drill next to it. But the drill next to it is sticking to a very, very small piece of glue. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Look, there's the culprit. Don't even know if you can see it. It's clear. Look, see, look. That was tucked under 4 different diamonds, but because the other 3 diamonds still had a little bit of glue, it stayed stuck. But that other one didn't want to stay stuck. Right, sorry, sidetrack. That's been fixed. I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, if I remember before tomorrow, I will bring it up again. If not, we shall carry on as we do. But thank you all so much for joining me for today. Sorry for the very weird ending. And I will speak to you all again tomorrow.